Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Catherine and I talk about books, languages, and other lifestyle things on this channel. And excuse the lighting, it's not very bright in here. It's almost 8 p.m. and I actually wasn't planning on filming anything today, but I talked to my parents and we might go on a family getaway later this month. So I have to pre-film some videos, so this is one of them, and I'm actually very excited to go on that weekend trip because we can't really travel abroad now. Well, we can, but we don't want to make a ton of PCR tests and all of that. But we can travel around Latvia, so if you can't travel abroad, just explore your own country. So yeah, and so today I have three middle grade reviews. I read a few middle grades over the past couple of months and I would like to share them with you. So the books that I'm going to be talking about today are The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson, The Garden of Lost Secrets by A.M. Howell, and Clicked by Tamara Ireland Stone. So I'm actually going to leave timestamps down below in case you are interested in any of these books in particular. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I want to talk about is The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson, and it's illustrated by Catherine Onesta, and this book actually has a ton of very beautiful illustrations that add to the book. Let me just find a few. So it's just really beautiful and unique, and basically this is a story about Yanka, who was found in a bear cave. She lives with this woman whom she calls Mamachka, which means mom in Russian, and they live in this village, and after a festival she wakes up with bare legs and she sets out on a journey to find who she really is. She goes through the forest and she meets all kinds of creatures, all kinds of animals, and then she comes to this house with chicken legs, and there are a bunch of other things happening, and it was actually very enjoyable. It was very beautiful, and I found that it wasn't very dark, and what I really loved about this book is that it was more like a fairy tale and more like a light story that you can tell a kid, and it was very beautiful. And I loved how she was speaking with the animals and how she was finding truth about who she really is, and how her grandmother is a bear queen and who her parents were, and all of these secrets. And throughout the book we have these stories that at the beginning you might think that they are just fairy tales and just stories that someone tells her, or like legends that people tell in their village, but really that was just her, that was a part of her life and that was a part of her story, and it was just a very beautiful, and I really enjoyed the ending. It just wrapped up so well, and if you like middle grade, if you read fantasy in general, I would highly recommend and give this one a try, because really it doesn't even feel like a fantasy, it just feels like a fairy tale, as I said. So I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book is The Garden of Lost Secrets by A.M. Howell. So this is actually a historical fiction about a girl named Clara who comes to live with her aunt and her uncle on this gardening estate in the UK, and it's 1916, and she actually discovers that somebody is stealing fruit from this garden. Basically it's like a village where this man Earl, they have these gardens and they're growing pineapples and mandarins and all of the other exotic fruit, and somebody is stealing them, and she actually meets a boy named Will, and there's just a bunch of mystery surrounding the thefts, and it doesn't have any pictures, and I wish it had some pictures, to be honest. And at the beginning it was quite slow and I couldn't really get into it, and I thought I would actually DNF it. But once I got past page 150, it got very interesting and it got very entertaining, and I was very interested in seeing who the real thief is. So I gave this book 3 stars because I couldn't get into it and it felt very slow, but in the end I really enjoyed it. And if you're interested in historical fiction, in particular some middle grade historical fiction, then you should definitely give this a go. And the final book that I want to talk to you about is Clicked by Tamara Ireland Stone. So I read this at the beginning of May and it took me a day or two. It was very quick, and it's actually a very short book, and it has some photos from the app. So if you have never heard of this book, it's a story about Ali who goes to this summer camp for IT girls, and she develops this app. It's actually a friendship app called Clicked, where you basically answer a bunch of basic quiz questions like what's your favorite color, do you like tea or coffee, are you a cat or dog person, and then it matches you with people who have the same interests. And there is also this competition involved for new IT teenagers, and she launches the app before the competition actually, even though her teacher says not to, and then it just basically goes viral at her school and everybody does it. Everybody around town does it, and it just breaks. And I really loved the element of it breaking down and the element of her trying to fix it. And then there is also an element of her arch enemy, and his name is Nathan, and he also has an app, and his app's idea is also very interesting. You have to read this book to find out what it is about, but basically they're like enemies, and I really enjoyed seeing how they become friends and how they help each other in the end, and it was just very beautiful. And to be honest, it was more like a YA for everything that they did and how they talked, but their age is like 6th, 7th grade, so they're middle schoolers still, and it was actually very interesting, and it's a part of a series. So I think there is one more book, it's called Matched, and I would love to read that one as well as soon as possible. So if you haven't read it and you were just looking at it and thinking, should I read it, shouldn't I, definitely give it a try. I gave it 4 stars, and it's a very quick and easy read, and it was very interesting. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you like these kinds of videos where I talk about some recent reads that I read. And yeah, how did you like this video? Have you read any of these books? Do you want to read any of these books? And do you have any video recommendations for me? If you want to see anything specific, just comment it all below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below, and I will see you very soon. Bye!